You spent 30, 40 hours building your character, leveling up, grinding gear, beating bosses. Then one slip up, you die, and the game deletes your save. Forever. Gone. All of it. Now, that's an actual mode in Echoes of Aincrad. Now, it's nothing new, okay? Plenty of games have this permadeath mechanic, but for a Sword Art Online game, let's be real, it just fits. It makes total sense. And look, I played the demo, spent hours in it, and I've got bad news for anyone who was sleeping on this game. It had no right to be this good. Because let's be honest, if you've played the older Sword Art Online games, you know they're fine, but nothing special. Today, I'm gonna break it all down. How the combat works, this insane permadeath mode, the kinda scary track record of the studio making it, and why this could be one of 2026's biggest surprises. Stick with me. Echoes of Aincrad is an action RPG from Bandai Namco made by Game Studio Inc. Yep, the studio is literally called Game Studio. But hold on to that name, because I'm coming back to it later and it matters more than you think. Now, the big twist isn't another game where you control Kirito. For the first time in the franchise, the protagonist is you. You build your character from scratch, appearance, gear, combat style, all of it. And you drop into Aincrad as just one of the 10,000 players trapped in that MMO that turned into a death game. Even the reveal trailer leans into that vibe. It's a fake documentary, interview style, looking back at the SAO incident, and you're one of the survivors, a total nobody in the middle of that chaos. And this is exactly where the game won me over for real. Think about it for a second. What do most anime games do? They take the story you already know by heart and readapt it for the millionth time. You already know who lives, who dies, how every arc ends. Where's the fun in that? There's zero surprise. You're just reliving what you already watched. Echoes of Aincrad does the opposite. You play an unknown character, created by you, with its own story that doesn't follow the path of anyone you saw in the anime. And that changes everything in practice. You have no idea what's going to happen. Every character who shows up, every choice, every place you explore, it's all new ground. To me, that's way more interesting than watching Kirito's saga again from a different angle. And the best part? They went and grabbed the strongest concept Sword Art Online has, that first arc with everyone trapped and climbing the tower to survive. Except now, the story's yours. The demo takes place on the first floors of the castle. There's an original character named Iori, and you still get appearances from people fans know like Argo, Kirito, and Asuna. But the focus, the whole time, is you. And the cool thing is that even people who never watched the anime, like me, I only saw the first season, can jump right in. And here comes the part that surprised me the most, the combat. There's a design decision here I thought was clever. In Aincrad, magic just doesn't exist. Because of the world's lore, nobody casts spells and even arrows are useless in there. The result? It's all melee. Sword, dagger, rapier, axe, shield. Pure melee, up close and personal, without that crutch of poking enemies from a distance with magic. At first glance, the system is simple, I won't lie. Light attack on R1, heavy on R2, block on L1 with parry and dodge. Stuff you've seen in 1,000 action RPGs. But the feel in your hands really reminds me of Dragon's Dogma. It's nimble, it's got weight, it feels good to hit things. There's a little pinch of Souls in the timing of the dodges. But relax, it's not a Souls, okay? It's way easier to pick up. Easy to learn, hard to put down. And it doesn't stop there. There are tons of skills, plenty of ways to build your character, and a really flexible progression. You can shape your character however you like to play, whether it's sword and shield, a more defensive style, or a massive axe that takes huge chunks out of enemies. And the animations are really well done, seriously. Actually, remember those animations? We're gonna come back to that later, and trust me, it'll be for a much less exciting reason. Even though it's a single-player game, you're never really alone. You always roll with an AI-controlled partner, which is really well done, by the way, that you can configure. And in my opinion, it's the heart of the whole game. You tweak their tactics, adapt their gear, and pull off paired attacks with some really cool animations. And it's not just for show. Against bosses, the difference between getting wrecked and completely dominating the fight almost comes down to how well you build that synergy. It's like managing a two-person team where only half of it is actually you. Ignore this, you're gonna suffer, I'm telling you. About the world, it opens up as the story moves along. You explore cities, varied environments, dungeons, always climbing the floors of the castle. It's a pretty expansive map, with plenty to do outside the main campaign. And visually, the game is gorgeous. They went with cel shading mixed with more realistic environments, and I genuinely love that choice. Well done cel shading ages incredibly well. Think Zelda on the Switch. Think Persona. It's that 3D look with a stylized 2D feel, and here it works beautifully. It ran smoothly at 60 FPS on the base PS5, at a solid resolution. And the soundtrack, honestly, it's great too. I wasn't expecting to like it this much, but I did. Alright, the Death Game mode. It's an optional mode you can enable on top of any of the 4 difficulty settings. And the concept is simple. You die, the game deletes your save. But there's a catch here you should know before buying. By default, this mode only unlocks after you beat the game once. It's the more expensive editions that give you early access. So let me break them down real quick. The standard edition, $69.99, is just the base game. Around 30 hours of campaign plus another 20 hours of side content. Honestly, it already feels complete. The Deluxe Edition adds the expansion DLC coming at the end of 2026, a starter item pack, and the Death Game mode unlocked from your very first save. Meaning, if you're crazy enough, you can start a permadeath run on day 1. And then there's the Ultimate Edition. It's everything from the Deluxe, plus a roughly 2-hour promo anime called Unanswered Butterfly, a digital soundtrack, an art book, and an exclusive armor pack. Anyone who pre-orders any edition gets a bonus weapon pack. And real talk, if you just want to play the game, the standard edition already gives you everything you need. The Deluxe pretty much pays for itself with the expansion and the early access to Death Game mode. And the Ultimate, that's really for the die-hard fans who want the anime and all the extra collectibles. No need to burn money for nothing. Keep that in mind. Oh, and one quick heads up for the PC crowd. The Steam version ships with de novo. You folks know exactly what that means. Now, let me be 100% honest with you. Remember that studio with the generic name Game Studio Inc.? Yeah, their track record is mixed at best. They've made some genuinely good games like Okami Then back on the DS, but they also made Dragon Quest Infinite Strash. And that game was actually competent at almost everything that matters. Good graphics, nice animations, functional combat. The problem was the adaptation. It just didn't know how to tell its own story. It cut way too much, and that's exactly where it let people down. And remember what I told you earlier about the animations? This is why I brought that up. Because I've seen the studio deliver solid gameplay and then completely stumble when it came to the narrative. Mechanically, from everything I played, Echoes of Aincrad absolutely nails it. The foundation is solid. My only concern is that they repeat the same mistake Dragon Quest made and stumble on the story. Because if they don't, hopefully we've got a great game on our hands. But if they do, then it becomes just another almost. And that's the biggest question mark. I'll be watching when the game launches. So to sum it all up, if you're a Sword Art Online fan, this could be the best game in the franchise. And if you don't even care about the anime, no problem. It's a genuinely solid action RPG with a clever concept that stands on its own. The demo is already available, and even better, your progress carries over to the full game, so you can try it right now completely free before spending a single cent. Echoes of Aincrad launches on July 10 for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. There's no Switch 2 version announced yet, but knowing Bandai Namco, I wouldn't be surprised if one shows up later. Now, I want to hear from you. Did you play the demo? Did you enjoy it? Are you optimistic about it, or are you still a little skeptical like I am? Drop a comment. I genuinely want to hear what you think about this one. And if you made it all the way to the end, you know the drill. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It really helps the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.